So today I started mental therapy. If you've followed me for any given amount of time, you know that I do a lot of work to keep me supported and keep me going so that I can do what it is that I want to do, that I'm here to do, that I need to do, that I can answer the call of the phoenix when it's time to do so. And this means that I'm building a team of humans who will be of support to me. And that has been a very long process. I didn't realize what it was going to take for me to develop trust enough to allow someone to be of support to me. And I'm curious if you've ever had that experience that it takes a while for you to trust enough to allow yourself to be vulnerable to receive support. It's just been over the last few weeks that I've realized that when someone tries to help me or when I am wanting to receive support, there is a part of me that actually fights back because the little injured girl in me believes that whoever they is, the person is trying to be helpful to me or be of support to me, that means in their mind, I'm weak. And if I'm weak, I have to fight back because weakness is dangerous in my belief system. So this is a new pattern, maybe not a new pattern, but it's a new awareness that I've uncovered in the last couple weeks. And what I've been experiencing, and the reason why I decided to go into therapy, is because I am having an experience of being not me. Now, I'm using quotation marks because, how can I be not me? But I'm behaving and I'm responding to those that I love in ways that are unlike how I normally behave in this world. And so there were some signs that something was amiss. There was something that I could not put my finger on that I needed support in healing. There were old patterns surfacing. There were old ways of reaction. I have been in a state of feeling over emotional, oversensitive, overreactive. Everything has been over. I've been over the top. So for me, this was a sign that I needed more support. And I always already have a physical body healer, an energy body healer, and a dedicated reader. And those three people are humans whom I trust to be in my space and inside my energy to be of support to me. And so when it came time to look for a mental therapist, I was like, because it requires me to drop my shields and to be vulnerable in front of somebody. And for me, that's super scary. I've had experiences throughout my life that have shown me that when I am vulnerable with those who are closest to me, they attack and they use my vulnerabilities against me to hurt me. And so it has been a pattern, especially in the last 4 years, where I have withdrawn and pulled into myself to keep myself safe. However, the last 99 days, as things have escalated on this planet, I have discovered that I cannot do it myself anymore. My skills, my several decades of skills in supporting sensitives weren't helping me. The tool set that I have, the extensive battery of processes and protocols that I have used for myself for 2 decades weren't helping anymore. My physical energy and my physical and energy bodies were not rejuvenating with no matter how much support I received. And so I knew there was a new area of support that needed to come in. And so therefore I signed up to do counseling, to do talk therapy. I did a lot of research on this, and I found a therapist who does not only talk therapy, but does experiential therapy and also uses energy healing modalities, which for me was important because I am an energy healer and I'm also a life coach. I have a lot of training underneath my belt. So I also had to be willing to be teachable, coachable. I had to be willing to let go of everything I know and step into a space of being young again, being open to receiving new information. So this is a lot of background for this video. And why am I talking today about what do you do when things don't work the way you want them to? So I scheduled this appointment. I started researching 2 or 3 weeks ago, found the therapist and scheduled the appointment last week, filled out the millions of pages of documents, legal documents to read through, disclaimers, tests, quizzes, all of that stuff. I did that last week, and today was the appointment this morning. I prepared myself for it because it was supposed to be a 2-hour intake appointment. And because I'm a teacher myself, because I am an energy healer myself, because I am a life coach myself, I know how to gauge a session. And so I emotionally prepared for a 2-hour session. I prepared my day to be as such that when I came home, I would be able to rest. Because I also know that a very important part of my personal transformation is rest and integration. So I had set up my day to allow the space for that. And I got to the session, and it was super great. Now, in a 2-hour session, especially in an intake, when I'm working with a new client in an intake, and we're in a 2-hour session, I allow the client to talk for the first hour, and so that I can connect fully with them. And that was my sense that was where we were going. So I had talked for about 50 minutes, and the therapist started talking. And we had just opened up something, and honestly, I don't know what it was, but I can still feel it open in me. We had opened up something, and she looked at the clock and went, "Oh, we need to wrap up." And I was like, "What? It's already like, what? It's already, my 2 hours are already up." She goes, "Oh no, this appointment's only an hour long." I don't know why insurance does that. They do that on the intakes. They're only supposed to be an hour long, but everything that goes out says 2 hours. And I'm like, so it was like this slam into a wall. And the interesting experience, and when I look back at it, I had been vulnerable and I fully opened up. And I was getting ready to dive in. Like, I was so hopeful that we were going to dive deep and we were going to do some work. And I was ready. I have been ready for a while. And so I was excited to do the work because I know that on the other side of the work, there will be peace and I will feel better. And so I was looking forward to the healing myself process. And when she said, "Oh, no, we have to close up," I was like, and I had this experience of this entire rage just going, at her. And so I could feel myself wanting to like explode. I allowed the energy to come up and move through and out, but I kept needing to presence myself and breathe and remind myself that I was safe, that I was okay, that this was not an attack. When I left, I felt really super depleted. And I was like, how can I make this better for somebody that's coming up behind me? For other new clients that are coming to this clinic, how can I make this experience for them less jarring? And that is how I work, in that when I experience something that isn't working on this planet, which I'm designed to find those things, my process is, okay, I experienced this. It was a big hit in the face. Now what do I do with it? And how do I make it better for others? And what came to me was to go in and talk to the receptionist and to point out to her and share with her what the experience was like for me. And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what to do about this." And I, of course, am thinking, well, change all your emails, number one. Number two, when you confirm, remind them that it's a 60-minute session. Duh. And then I just blurted out the words, "Well, could it be possible that your therapists are trained to start the session with, okay, so what are we going to be doing in the next 60 minutes?" So that they actually set the pace. And I saw a light bulb go on, and she went, "Oh, that is an awesome idea. I'll take that to the clinical director." So maybe I resolved that for them and the future patients. I don't know. But for me, I had to actually sit with the anger that came from opening up what felt like something big. And again, I don't know what it was, open it up, and then not do anything with it. And I felt angry because we had opened up something that didn't get complete. And it reminded me of doing marriage counseling 20 some odd years ago. And every single session with that very unprofessional therapist, he would allow us to argue and fight in front of him for 45 minutes. We'd get all riled up and angry, and then he'd go, okay, time's up. And we'd be done, and we would go home in that very, very dangerous energy for a week before we went back. And so that memory surfaced, and I was like, okay, Angie, this is not now. This is now. You're here now. And what are you going to do with it? And so my decision was to find some new tools, to write about it, to do this video, and to actually be proactive in interacting with the anger, and to remind myself that this experience of not being heard, which is what it boiled down to, I wasn't being heard in that moment, is how I received the information. That not being heard is a very, very common experience for me. And it is all my perception. And therapy is literally about shifting your perceptions of yourself. And so as I laid down to rest today, because even though it was an hour, that last shove of emotional energy that happened knocked me on my ass. And so I laid down, and as I was laying down, I was thinking to myself, ugh, one of my pet peeves is that sentence. I was thinking to myself, because who else can I think to? Anyway, welcome into my brain. I was thinking, what can I do with this? How can I exponentially increase the energy of healing and transformation in my own therapy? And what came to me is doing this. So what I'm sharing with you today is sometimes things just don't work out how you want them to. Sometimes things don't work out how you planned for. Sometimes things don't work out how you've been told they'll work out. And what do you do in that situation? For me, the question becomes, what do I want to do with this energy right now? And that is my invitation to you. When you're in a space of, oh, this isn't working how I want it to, ask yourself, what do I want to do with this energy now? With what I have now, what do I want to do with it? How do I want to move forward? What do I want to recreate with what has been created? So thank you for being here with me today. Again, I welcome your feedback and your questions. I will be doing this weekly after following some time in the day following each therapy session. And I will also be writing throughout the week and sharing what I'm learning publicly. Today, there wasn't a lot of ongoing emotion. It was just a burst of anger and feeling unheard. And then me deciding that I wanted to do something with that. So I thank you. If you would like to set up your own experience of working with the Phoenix, let's do a connecting call. You can go to connectwiththephoenix.com and set up a 30-minute complimentary session where we can talk about how I can be of service to you. I can find out where you are and where you want to go and what might be blocking you and the ways that I could support you in moving through that. I would be honored to do that because honestly, people, doing work like that is my passion. It is why I'm here. And when I'm doing that work, I grow, I shift, I transform because I am a transformer. And I think, honestly, this is just coming up, ding, 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 live awareness right now. I think part of the problem that I'm experiencing right now is for 3 months, for 99 days, I have not been able to do the work that I do on a regular basis for other people because of everything that's going on in the world. There haven't been clients to do healing work with or to do readings with. or to talk with. So my invitation to you is if you've been thinking that you need support as well, please reach out because it'll help me. It's a purely selfish experience, as purely selfish invitation. So yeah, thank you for being here. You're welcome to share this video. I know that there may not be a lot of usable content in this video, and you're welcome to share it. But I look forward to talking with you soon and receiving your feedback and your questions on this video and on the things that I write. And thank you for choosing you and for choosing to keep on keeping on. Create yourself a beautiful day. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.